Kevin Harvick
Alright,
Kevin
we
Harvick
are
just went on the
live.
pole. Hi.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome everybody here to the fourth NASCAR Talk of 2016. Today we're going to be talking about, as you've seen the description, the events of Las Vegas, and looking forward to Phoenix this weekend. I'm being joined by a couple of returners, Charles Belding and Michael Norman.
Hey Seth,
And
I just got a notification on my phone.
you
Apparently,
ruined my intro. Hang on, let me introduce Shane. He's here for the first time this season.
Oi. Hi. In case anyone doesn't know, I'm James Sorfox, and for offline, but actual name is Shane, so hi. Hi.
Right.
All right. So apparently,
All right, now, what were you going to say that you interrupted before?
Apparently, I got a notification on my phone. Apparently, NNSCRA is hosting a live stream of NASCAR Talk.
Oh, wow, we should go there.
I know, right?
Okay, so anyway,
he hates me right now.
last week at Las Vegas, pretty interesting race, both racing and weather-wise. We had all those wind gusts, we had a sandstorm, and then we had some racing. What was your guys' overall thought of that race?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was a decent race for the most I caught of it. Glad Brad Keselowski won. I'm glad Brad won over Kyle Busch though.
It was an interesting seeing a simulation of what racing's gonna be like if we were race on Mars. So I mean, that was pretty good. The sandstorms and the shitty weather.
Well, I was shocked that with that many obstacles, weather obstacles, that we ended up not having as many cautions.
I'm surprised they didn't throw a caution for that dust on the back straightaway.
I know!
The first, 200 laps weren't exactly, working for me. And then about when Allmendinger and Larson got together coming out turn number 2, then that's when things started really, ramping up. And, of course, after that we had the sandstorm. Then we shortly had the multi-car wreck with Kenseth, Elliott, Kirkbusch, and Carl Edwards. And then late in the race, I think that's when it was at its best. Because when was the last time you could say that we had, about 4 cars all within a second of each other in the closing stages of the race? It's been a while since anyone could say that, because we had a 4-car battle between Kyle Busch, Logano, Keselowski, and Johnson. They were all within a second of each other, or about within a second.
And not only that, but also at mile-and-a-half racetracks, it's almost pretty likely that in the closing stages, the leader's going to pull away. The battle's going to be on for second place. You're not really going to see someone be able to reel somebody else in. And we ended up getting to see that, actually, with Keselowski reeling in Kyle Busch. So that actually made it exciting there that you actually had a battle formulating in the closing stages between those two, rather than just one driver running away with it and you're like, oh, yep, that's it.
Yeah, it was nice. It's nice. All these years of people screaming at NASCAR saying, "Hey, lower downforce is literally going to solve everything. Get rid of the splitter, lower the spoiler, do everything." And it took them 4 years for them to finally listen. Hey, look, we've had one of the best starts this season in a decade.
Johnny Gardner says link him the stream.
I got him.
It's freaking nuts. You know what happens?
Yeah.
I mean, NASCAR fans. A lot of NASCAR fans are questionable, but they're not always. We're not all dumb.
Yeah, and I mean, this year, as opposed to last year, I have to say I've actually enjoyed the races more, and I think that you're right, Shane. It comes down to that low downforce package, and the drivers have said they've enjoyed this package a lot more. So, if drivers are more comfortable with what's underneath them, they're going to perform better, and it's going to make for better racing.
Well, also, the tougher you make the cars, the more fun you're going to see, because when the cars are tough to drive, it's a lot more entertaining. Because, I mean, we saw last year everything was just so grippy. It was like watching an Air Test 3 race, for example, with 1.5 grip. It was so dumb, and no one could pass each other.
And we got Johnny joining us here.
For the 4th consecutive week in a row.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping you weren't going to show up this week, Johnny, because you're the one behind the 1 and 2 and 1. Because last week I ended up picking Joey Logano. He ended up finishing second, but Gardner picked Keselowski and ended my 3-in-a-row streak.
I had to end it. I had to. I knew BK would do it.
That's
Never
okay.
underestimate me, son.
I've got first,
Never
and
underestimate.
second in the last 3 weeks, so.
True,
I've
but
been
never
okay.
underestimate.
I didn't join Ice Ray Fantasy.
Well, I'm
But
just talking about in picking the winner here in NASCAR Talk each week.
Okay.
I picked Hamlin at Daytona, and I picked Johnson at Atlanta, but I picked Logano last week and came up one spot short of going 3 in a row.
I dethroned you.
Yes, you did.
You're like,
So who for you guys was the biggest surprise for Las Vegas? Because there were a couple of drivers up there. I was kind of impressed that they were running there. But who for you was one that kind of stood out?
Austin Dillon.
Agreed.
Yeah.
when he wasn't on a tirade, yeah, he was pretty good. Did you see NASCAR Radioactive?
Not for that race. I haven't. No.
It's probably his audio is probably censored to hell.
From discussion that I found out from the Radioactive.
Oh shoot! Yes, I do remember that clip. I did see that clip in the race.
Yeah, Dylan. Austin Dillon was pretty much on his pit crew the whole time.
Yeah. Wasn't that after the speeding penalty or something?
Yeah, they probably had to censor his audio like big time.
Well, they did. They censored his audio live.
Yeah, imagine what it was like radioactive when you could actually hear him finish his sentences.
Oh man.
Right. His audio was so bad it made me want to like go ah.
But I mean, Austin Dillon actually has come a long way. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's like, I want to say 13th in the standings, 12th, 13th in points.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me to see him make the chase.
No, I honestly am not sure I'd be surprised seeing him making the chase either, because he seemed to kind of get the better finishes, be more consistent near the second half of last season. It's just carried over here into this season.
Here's the question for you guys. If the 3-car did win this season, where would you like to see him win at?
Good question.
Very good question.
Personally, I'd like to see him win at Daytona or Talladega.
I'm trying to think of where.
I'd rather have him win at a track that requires,
skill.
Just because of I say that just because of the number and its legendary stuff for the super speedways.
Right. I'm just trying to think here in terms of.
I also say that because it's the easiest chance for him to even get a win.
I want him to win the final race before the chase. I think Richmond.
Just upset everything.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I want him to, he wins, and then, he wins, gets in the chase, and, he's somehow higher than Dale Earnhardt Jr. That'd be funny.
Well, I'm trying to remember where, I'm trying to remember how he does at Darlington, because we had Regan Smith end up winning a race at his first race of his career at Darlington, and that 78 team kind of got some of its stuff out of RCR.
Seth, that was technically his second career.
I just saw something.
It wasn't his second win. He got the win taken away from him in Dega, so it was his first win.
Was legit.
I think it was too, but you gotta go with NASCAR standards.
Guys, let's not bring this up until it's Talladega time.
Yeah, I know. Paul Menard is gonna win.
Yes.
No, I'm excited.
Come on.
No, I want 2016 to be the year Talladega falls and dies, because first I want first to happen is Jimmy Johnson to win Talladega and get ahead of Dale Earnhardt Sr. And then in the fall race, Austin Dillon passes Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the final lap.
Wow.
Talladega will burn.
Beer will fly.
Back to conversation. If Austin Dillon is going to win anywhere this season, it's going to be on the mile and a half tracks, because that's where he's best at. He won most of his Xfinity Series wins come on mile and a half track, so I think that's where he's going to win. So also in a way, it wasn't that much of a surprise to see him do so well at Vegas.
See, that's where I'm wondering is the mile and a half. The only thing I'm wondering though is, does he have a car good enough to get up to the front, passing other guys that are good at mile and a halves like Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, or is he going to have to rely on maybe one of those kind of fuel strategy races?
He may have to rely on fuel strategy. I'm sorry.
I think once he gets like his first win, the rest of them are going to be easier.
Yeah,
Sure.
they'll have something to build off of. I'm trying to look here and see. Okay, maybe this will help. Let's see. In Austin Dillon's career, his best average finish, 6 races, 12th place finish at Daytona for first mile and a half was Charlotte. 4 races, 13th place average finish. After that, it was California, New Hampshire, and Las Vegas.
Yeah, he's gonna get it. I honestly think that he's gonna get a win this season.
I don't
It's
know.
going to be interesting to see which one it's at.
Actually, so I'm gonna be right back. It'll probably take me maybe 10-15 minutes, but just in case I'm not back, Seth, I'm gonna type in the chat my picks for this week.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Another driver I was actually really impressed with. I mean, we had Chase Elliott who was running good. He got wrecked out, taking nothing away from him. He was up there at the front, but Ryan Blaney too. I really think that Wood Brothers decided to go full time this season with Ryan Blaney was a super idea because we're just seeing the benefits of his experience and being in a full time ride. He's running up there in the top 10, top 15 every single week.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we saw some of that last year as well. So
now, one thing that I was gonna ask is, let's say a couple of years ago when Trevor Bayne won the Daytona 500, let's say Wood Brothers decided, okay, wait a minute, let's go full time this season. Would we have seen the same kind of performance out of the 21 team, or is Ryan Blaney as the driver the difference in the performances that we're seeing out of the 21 now being a full-time rider? Would we have seen this back in 2011?
No.
Driver and equipment change. First of all, I think Ryan Blaney is a lot better than Trevor Bayne, in my opinion. Second of all, when Trevor Bayne was behind the wheel, they had Yates power engines. Wood Brothers now has Penske power engines under Ryan Blaney.
I'd say it would easily be Wood Bros would probably be similar, but I think Blaney is just better, plain and obvious. I mean, so I think Blaney's just the better driver too. If Bayne had gone full time in 2011, I think he would have finished like 24th in points or something. I think Blaney's going to finish possibly inside somewhere in the chase, I'd bet, but we'll see.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him finish in the chase. I think the hurdles for Blaney might possibly be the short tracks and maybe the road courses, but mile and a half, I don't think he'll have a problem with. Restricted plate tracks for anybody is a wild card, but as long as he can get through Martinsville and Bristol, and I guess he's got somewhat good numbers at road courses. I think if I remember watching him, he ran fairly well at Montreal, so he's got some road course experience. But if he can get over those hurdles, I agree with you. I think there is a possibility you could see Ryan Blaney, and we talked about Austin Dillon, as maybe some surprise faces up in the chase this season.
Yeah.
And Wood Brothers has always been at least decent. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, no matter who they put in the car, they've always been decent. I mean, Bill Elliott was able to get, top 20s with that team like 5 years ago. So, I mean, actually like 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Well, what was it? 2000
for the Wood Brothers was in 2010.
What was it? 2004. They ended up having who was it?
Ricky Rudd.
Joe Nemechek, Greg Biffle, and Ricky Rudd finished 1, 2, 3. So.
In 2 days in a row, I think. Because
And
remember,
they were all 3 armed forces sponsored cars too, weren't they?
Yeah, that was a good weekend.
I think Nemechek was Army, Air Force was Rudd, and Biffle was
Guard.
National Guard.
Yeah.
If it was for Kansas, I swear I remember it was Army and Nemechek. Yeah, I think you may be right on the 21 though.
Yeah, I know that 21 was Air Force, and I'm pretty sure
it was Air Force.
National
I think
Guard.
it was the Monkey aspect and all that.
And Craig
Rudd
Biffle
ran
was National Guard.
Kansas.
Because remember when Craig
'Cause
Biffle and Mark
normally
Martin
they-
had that close finish in Homestead that same year? Biffle was in the National Guard car.
Yep.
I don't even know if Coast Guard was Justin Labonte, but that was Bush.
Yes.
Yeah.
All we need is military police, and we're good.
Mhm. All right,
Agreed.
so moving on to Phoenix,
Oh
another
man.
dusty place.
Another dust of hell.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be the worst race of the season so far.
No,
Probably.
no.
Yeah, well, slick conditions, low downforce package.
We
It
haven't
could be.
had.
I'm almost thinking we're gonna have something similar to Atlanta, where they could find absolutely no grip. So that could make it kind of interesting. But if there's
Comparing-
no grip, they may not be very likely to want to pass each other.
Comparing
Right.
to Atlanta is like apples to oranges to me. First of all, Atlanta's surface is like years older than Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix got repaid and reconfigured in 2011. Atlanta hasn't been repaired since 1997. And obviously, there's
Same as Auto Club.
there's a difference. There's a difference in type of track. Phoenix is a 1 mile track that's actually mostly one groove. But at least at Atlanta, you can go like 3 or 4 wide. So, in my opinion, like the problem, in my opinion, with Phoenix is A, because of the new surface, tires just don't wear, and B, Phoenix is still kind of mostly a one groove track, and I doubt the low damage package is going to make like a significant difference at all. But I hope I'm wrong.
You can't make turn 1 and 2 are the only place. Turn 1, 2, and the dog leg are literally the only places that you can make a pass in. I mean, turn 3 and 4, you gotta like be a complete dickhead. Ryan
Kyle
Newman
Larson.
pass people in turn 3 and 4.
So with that being said, though, you got to assume that if we have cautions and everything, the restarts are going to be crazy with people trying to jostle for track position, knowing that there's not going to be much passing once things get spread out.
I can't remember the last time there was a good Phoenix race. I really can't.
2011 spring race? I don't know. The
Last year when it ended with rain.
Although I will say, I'll give Phoenix credit. They have a lot of interesting stuff happen there every year. With Boyer and Gordon, and then Ryan Newman with the greatest move in NASCAR history on Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson.
I've never laughed so hard and gotten so mad in my entire life.
I thought that was great, though. I'm like, I hope he dive bombs it, and he actually did. I'm like, oh, cool.
Jeff Gordon had the championship.
Going in hot.
That was amazing. There was so much butthurt. I loved it. Even as a Gordon fan, I thought it was hilarious.
I'm going in hot.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame him.
No, I can't either.
I wasn't mad.
Absolutely not.
And I'm in the wall.
I'm a whole life Gordon fan. I wasn't even like that upset because I figured something like that he was gonna have to do.
I wasn't upset either. I mean, come on, you got a chase spot on the line, and you have an opportunity to pass that race car. Go for it.
It was the far race for the title. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. If Gordon had done the same thing, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Got to do what you got to do.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
So looking ahead at Phoenix, they've already run qualifying and everything. Joe Gibbs Racing has swept the front row. They've actually got 4 out of the top 6 starting spots. Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards on the front row. Hamlin starting 3rd. Matt Kenseth starting 6th. Now, it looks like we're going to have a pretty dominant Joe Gibbs Racing performance, but are the odds in favor of Joe Gibbs Racing, one of their drivers, winning this race?
Yeah.
But,
Joe Gibbs is scary so far.
I made this prediction like last year in like the summer and fall when Joe Gibbs Racing won like a lot of those races in the summer and the fall. But I kind of think Joe Gibbs Racing is going to be like the new dominating team in NASCAR for the next few years. Because they have 4 competitive, strong drivers, and no other team, and no other 4-car team or 3 or 4-car team can really say that, in my opinion.
But here's why I'm asking if Joe Gibbs Racing is going to win this one, because they've been the dominant team pretty much this season. All 4 of the teams are running well in the point standings. But you look at the Daytona 500, Denny Hamlin, he won that race. But you move to Atlanta, Jimmy Johnson used strategy to be able to take the win away. And then you move to last week at Las Vegas, Brad Keselowski was able to use fresher rubber to be able to run down Kyle Busch and take away a second Joe Gibbs Racing 2016 victory. So, with other people utilizing strategy to be able to knock off the Joe Gibbs cars, would something like that be seen at Phoenix?
Possibly so.
I mean, I think because it is difficult to pass the Phoenix, I gotta think that like we're gonna have to see at least like some strategy because track position will mean so much.
Hmm. And we got two cars that are going to be going to the back of the field, two Hendrick cars. Jimmy Johnson qualified 5th, and he's going to a backup car. And Casey Kane qualified 24th. They're doing an engine change, so those two will probably have to use some kind of pit strategy at some point to get up through the field.
Hendrick has had a
Exactly.
lot of qualifying struggles so far this season
Yeah.
and last season. From what I was told, Jimmy Johnson, what happened was that he didn't say this in the media because he didn't want to tell anybody besides his team first, but his steering wheel broke off when he completed that last lap that he did, and it put him into the wall. Like his steering wheel broke off,
Wow.
and he didn't tell the media. He lied to him about it, then told his team first, and he said it was a Twitter discussion thing he did, I believe, yesterday. So weird thing, very weird.
Yeah. One driver I was kind of interested with where they qualified was Kevin Harvick because before we started this hangout, Shane said we're going to watch the Kevin Harvick 400 at Phoenix, but he qualified 18th. So yeah, what's up with that?
And in case I need to provide a source, I put it in the hangout chat because I know somebody might come up and say you're lying.
Okay, let's see. Yep, there it is. Jimmy Johnson on Twitter.
He's funny on Twitter though.
Is he?
He roasts everybody. It's amazing.
Oh shit!
It's completely the opposite of what he is in interviews. Like he will fucking shit on people. It's amazing.
It's like
Jim
the
Roman party.
Kevin Owens of NASCAR.
He literally is on Twitter. He's the Kevin Owens. It's amazing.
Oh my goodness.
I love it so much.
All right, so time to put our thinking caps on and try and help people out that are putting fantasy teams together with who we think is going to be a.
Wait, hold on, one more thing. There's a rumor. There's a quick thing about Phoenix is actually kind of interesting. There's a rumor, and it's been kind of a rumor for the past few years, but I guess now it's resurfacing again. Now I don't know if the source is correct or not, so bear with me. I got this from a guy who is friends with one of the people who works for Phoenix International Raceway, that they may be switching the start-finish line to the backstretch where the dogleg is, like that area.
Yes.
Maybe.
Ooh, really?
They may be flipping everything over to there. All the grandstands and stuff. They're going to be doing what they did to Atlanta, like kind of what they did to Atlanta.
So it'll
back
kind
in the
of
90s.
look like a flatter Kentucky.
Kind of, yeah. If that's true, that's interesting. But
Huh.
I don't like it. I mean, granted, I know I'm biased because I live here in Arizona and I'll actually be going to the race tomorrow. But the thing is, like, I don't understand how it's going to make how these possible changes or how these future changes will make Phoenix a better track in a way, because I don't think it's going to do anything to the racing. So to me, it kind of comes across as like we could or we will spend a lot of money on something that's not going to fix anything.
Right, I forgot to mention, Mike Joy talked about it during practice yesterday as well, so he talked about it as well. And I am assuming it would take place after the dog leg, like maybe they're going to use the dog leg as like a dive bomb, like to make some interesting finishes, because that'd be interesting, like having everybody driving down into the dog leg, coming to the checkered flag, like trying to see what they can get. I mean, that'd be pretty nuts. Maybe end up with a couple of bruises, but that'd be interesting.
The only way it would be interesting, though, is if we ended up having like a green-white checkered at that track or something.
And also,
other than
maybe
that,
another
there's
theory.
no way they'd be bunched up enough to be able to have that kind of a dive bomb move at the end.
And maybe another theory is because turn 1 and 2 are the places where most of the passing in Phoenix happens.
Right.
From what I can tell. Maybe they want to flip it as well to where, turn 3 and 4, there's going to be more passing there. So it looks like they're flipping this just for the finishes. You got the dog leg, and then you got turns 1 and 2. That would become turns 3 and 4. That would become a little bit more passy. So I guess we'll see passy. Wow. God damn it.
All right. Oh, go ahead.
Well, in the past, I heard about how these changes are going to get the track more of like a Daytona Rising-esque kind of look. Because like the looks, it'll be kind of similar to what the Daytona Rising looks, and then Phoenix is not the only track that that's being looked at for upgrades. It's also another International Speedway Corporation track, Richmond, which is interesting in my opinion.
I'm back.
You're back
Actually,
in time.
it wouldn't turn it into a Kentucky like someone said. It would turn into a Richmond.
Well, no, I didn't say it would turn into a Kentucky. I just said that based on kind of like the track shape with where the line's going to be, you kind of have that curvy front straightaway at Kentucky, and that'd be kind of what it would be for Phoenix.
Talk about the Kentucky repave.
No, we're talking about the possibility of the start-finish line at Phoenix being moved from the front straightaway to the back straightaway.
Breakfast Quesalupa, guys. Breakfast
Although we can talk about that Kentucky revamp because that looks scary.
It does.
That looks awesome. I can't wait to watch that race.
I don't think it's actually as scary as I think some people are making it out to be, because like from some pictures it looks like that turns 1 and 2 the banking is going to be super high, but it's actually not.
I want Charlotte banking in turns 1 and 2. Well, no, I want a lower banking in turns 1 and 2, like completely flat, and then a high bank like Charlotte type banks on turn 3 and 4.
I want a cake tin banking in turn 1 and 2.
Hell yeah, that'd be insane stuff.
I want a Coca-Cola type banking in 1 and 2.
What about a Talladega style banking?
Oh God!
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go! Onward!
No, we make a giant
And
super
before
speedway.
no restrictor
Okay.
plates at Kentucky.
No, they revamp. Let's revamp Michigan. Okay, we're gonna bank up turns 3 and 4, but we're gonna flat the hell out of turns 1 and 2.
Oh Lord.
Or do that like it's a half super speedway, half New Hampshire. It'll be pretty hype.
God, can you imagine that one?
Can you imagine the tire wear?
It's a good thing I'm not in charge of building tracks, because
Yeah, it is.
It's a good thing I'm not in charge.
It's a damn good thing you're not.
I know, I've been making some insane shit.
Imagine trying to create that track in NR.
In Sandbox. Oh Lord.
Imagine driving down line.
It's hard enough to drive to create a track in Sandbox that's just like a regular track.
Yeah. Freaking Lyndon Wright though can do a hell of jobs at it.
Yeah. All right, so now that Michael's back, let's get down to making our picks. Who we think's gonna win at Phoenix, and we'll go from left to right. So we're gonna start with Charles. Give us a driver that's gonna be the dominant one, the one that's gonna win the race, a driver that we should stay away from, and then maybe a dark horse that we might not necessarily expect to get a good finish, but could be a value pick.
I'm not going to go with the obvious Kevin Harvick. That's just too obvious. Instead, I'm going to look at someone who's going to like break that dominant streak of like 5 wins in the past 7 races. It could have been 6 wins in some races had last number of races not been ring shortened. But anyway, the driver that I'm going to pick, and if you listen to me for fantasy picks, don't do it because I'm so horrible at picking drivers. Kurt Busch. I remember in last year, both Phoenix races, I think in the spring race, he was the only driver other than Kevin Harvick who I think had a realistic shot at winning the race and beating Kevin Harvick. And in November, had he not gotten penalized for what I consider to be kind of a stupid rule, leader must be the first driver to the start-finish line, he could have had a good chance at winning the race. And he qualified 4th, which isn't bad at all. So I think Kurt Busch is finally going to get that win this season at Phoenix. The sleeper pick. Now this certainly isn't a driver that you would see on your sleeper pick most often, but based on his performance this season, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He got a 10th place finish at Atlanta and then came close to getting another top 10 at Las Vegas. He qualified 10. It seems like he's one of the most improved drivers so far this season. And I know Phoenix isn't one of his best tracks historically, but I think based on what I've seen so far this season, he could be a sleeper pick for a top 10 or maybe even better. The driver to stay away from, Dagger Patrick. This is one of her worst tracks. She has a 36th place average finish in just 7 starts, including a couple races where she just crashed. So that's the driver to stay away from. Moving on.
All right. Move to Johnny.
I'd go.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna agree with Charles on that pick for Kurt Busch though. That's something. He did have a realistic shot of beating last year. I remember that specifically. He finished third, I believe, last season.
I don't remember.
I think, yeah, he did. Dark horse. I'm gonna go with. Who should I go with today? I am gonna go with Clint Boyer. Surprise, surprise.
Oh man.
He might do the justice between the. Well, he could. Well, I'm not picking Harvick because of. Well, you know. Yeah, that's what. But stay away from. Yeah, I'm gonna go with her with Danica. Only one top 15. Well, one top 20 finish though out of the 7 races that she's entered in. Phoenix though. Yeah.
All right. Let's move down to Michael.
No, let's move over to you, Seth.
No.
Yeah.
You're in the middle.
I'm on the right side of my screen and on the stream. So.
On mine, you're in the middle.
Well, it's not your stream, so it's you.
Alright, calm down! Or you're fired, you hear me?
I'm going with somebody who
Ouch.
has won at Phoenix at least 3 times. Most recently, the rain shortened race. My pick, I don't think he's going to dominate, but I think he could pull out a victory.
Ryan
And that would be
Newman.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. I don't think he's going to dominate like Harvick or nothing like that, but he's starting pretty deep in the field, but he knows how to get up to the front. Dark horse that could sneak away with a victory. I would say maybe that 3 of Austin Dillon. And then the person to stay away from is who's driving the 14 this week.
Ty Dillon.
Yeah, stay away from Ty.
Oh man.
All right. Shane, your picks.
Pick to win. I'm gonna go with the obvious Kevin Harvick. You know, I'm being very basic. I forget I know the other categories. One's Dark Horse, right? And
Yes.
what are the other ones? Or is it just those 2?
A sleeper pick.
Sleeper pick. Isn't that the same thing?
No. Oh yeah. A driver to stay away from. Sorry.
Driver to stay away from. Well, it depends. If you're talking about scanners, yeah, stay away from Danica Patrick's scanner. 'Cause that radio scanner is not very pretty, trust me. Dark horse, I'm gonna go with Jamie McMurray. McMurray's had some pretty decent qualifying efforts at Phoenix before, and he's usually been pretty up in the front a couple times near there. I've noticed.
Trent joins the stream.
So I'm gonna go with Jamie McMurray for the dark horse / sleeper.
Okay.
All right.
And before Trent joins the stream, just to say thanks for.
Yeah.
Just thank you, Shane. All right. I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon with Shane. We ended up having Gibbs win at Daytona.
Now you listen to me.
Yeah. We had Gibbs win at Daytona. We had Hendrick win at Atlanta. We had Penske win at Las Vegas. So now it's time for Stewart-Haas Racing to jump to the forefront, and I'm gonna go with Kevin Harvick because how can you not bet against How can you bet against Kevin Harvick? 4 races so far. He's got a 1.25 average finish. He's led 855 laps. All 4 of those finishes have been in the top 5. 3 of them trips to victory lane. You know, even though he is starting back in the 18th position, Kevin Harvick, I think, and that team are going to find a way to get themselves to the front. And this is a track that they just have dominated at. And really, for me, Kevin Harvick's team seems to be a team that has kind of been a little bit behind in figuring out the low downforce package. So Phoenix would be, I think, the best place for them to finally get to know what they can do with it and be able to apply it. So I'm going to go with Kevin Harvick for my driver to stay away from. Believe it or not, I'm actually going to go with Austin Dillon because he's had 4 starts in which he's only had 2 of those finishes be in the top 20. So even though Austin Dillon has been off to a great start this season, Phoenix is a track that he seems to struggle at. And even though he showed that he's got good speed in qualifying, I just don't think the luck's going to come the way of the 3-car here in this race. If I'm proved wrong, that's perfectly fine with me, but the numbers don't seem to add up to this being one of Austin Dillon's best tracks. And then my sleeper, you know what? Go out and pick Ryan Blaney again, because Ryan Blaney, that team, I think, is going to be making the chase for the championship. I don't necessarily think they're going to win, but right now, based on the rookie battle between himself and Chase Elliott always seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Ryan Blaney always seems to be in the right place at the right time. He's been the one that's come away with the better finishes, and I think Ryan Blaney would be a good sleeper pick, especially with the fact, too, that he would have a bit of previous experience from the Xfinity Series at Phoenix, too. So he doesn't, as far as I know, I'm looking here, I don't see him actually having any previous starts at Phoenix, and he ended up qualifying 12th for this race. So he's obviously...
He has not raced at Phoenix since Xfinity in 2013.
Okay, yeah, so... Yeah, and to be able to qualify 12th, that track he hasn't been to in about 3 years, yeah, I think Ryan Blaney definitely has remembered a lot of the tricks of that track, and I think he's going to be a good value pick.
Also, Stenhouse is probably a good pick as well for dark horse and sleepers. So
he's a good pick, but I actually looked at him too, and he has his last 4 starts average finished 22nd place.
Yeah, but Stenhouse has so far been very, very decent so far this year. Getting that 10th at Atlanta, then that 12th Las Vegas, and he's been pretty decent. He's been the bright spot of Roush for like the past 2 years.
Yeah, in his he's got 6 starts there. His highest finish was 12th. I'm not sure what year that was in, but let me see if I can find out.
Oh, and
what year was that? I don't think. Let's see. 12th place finish was 2013.
2013.
It was actually his first start at Phoenix.
Stenhouse does really good at the tracks that are smaller than a mile, though. So I mean.
Yeah. Well, if you look at his that was where he started. Sorry, where he finished. No, it was still 2013 where he finished 12th. But if I look at his finishes there, even though they're not glistening, for his 6 finishes, 16th, 12th, 18th, 17th, 12th, and 41st. So he's at least finished up, in the mid to high 10s.
He's finished in the top half on more ways than one.
And also, kind of important too, in 5 of those 6 races, he's completed every single lap.
Shameless plug. I have a shameless plug here.
Oh, God.
Taco Bell. Breakfast, amazing. Also,
I have a shameless plug.
Although,
drops.
Little fun. I mean, I'm not sure if anyone's noticed this. I'm not sure if anyone's noticed this, but Michael Annette's actually higher than Clint Boyer in the points. Just like.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that too.
They didn't even talk about Clint Boyer last week.
Because he's in the back.
Yeah, he was in the back.
I was expecting Harry Scott to be a little bit faster than this, but especially with Boyer.
Clint's got to get through another. Hold on, Clint's got to get through another mediocre year before he goes to a team that actually can compete.
Well, now here's the thing. Here's what I've found, and maybe this is just, this is merely my opinion, but Clint Boyer, from what I've heard on the radio and in his interviews and everything, his psyche is not there as a driver. He's constantly complaining. He's not happy with his race car. It seems every single week. He seems to have absolutely nothing good to say, and as a driver,
that's just like
how
Kurt Busch was.
Unless you start having a positive outlook, and Clint Boyer just does not have that.
It reminds me a lot of Kurt Busch.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be down on yourself, down on your car, down on your team, you're not gonna perform, and that's just how I see Clint Boyer in this situation. I thought maybe he would head into this season with a different team, maybe with a better outlook, and then I ended up hearing an in-car audio. It was either in-car audio or someone said what he said over the radio at Daytona, and I'm thinking, wow. This sounds like absolutely the same stuff that he said back in 2015. There's no difference here. And to me, I think that's a big reason why his finishes are suffering so bad and why he's not finishing well.
And then you got other. I mean, honestly, I don't even think it's much of an excuse because you got Justin Allgaier who was putting out solid performances in that same exact car with even less probably money
Yeah,
being pushed into
exactly.
it. Because I remember when
he would come away with really, some pretty decent finishes.
he did, dude. When I went to a Richmond Spring Race last year and I flew over from Europe to America, when Allgaier was in second for like those 70 laps, people were going freaking nuts. It was amazing.
Yeah.
People every time he would pass by, everyone was fucking cheering him on. I heard a few Justin chants going on. It was pretty good. I mean, that was like amazing. So I mean, that team's got some freaking potential. They can just work out their kinks.
I remember last year when it was like rumored and announced that would replace Justin Allgaier. Like when I kept on thinking like over and over again, it was just like I guess why couldn't like Michael Annett get the move Justin Allgaier stayed? Because Allgaier, in my opinion, is a better driver than Michael Annett. It's just my opinion.
I'm not certain. I'm just wondering, is it maybe because Michael Annett, if Michael Annett had left, they wouldn't have had Pilot and Flying J Services as a sponsor?
Yeah, Nets not that.
Because it seems like wherever Annett goes, he's always got that sponsorship. It's kind of like Paul Menard always bringing his own sponsorship, whatever team he goes to, that kind of a thing.
I think it's because Annette's the I think nephew, I believe, or nephew or son of the guy who owns those pilot stores and shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
So they
that doesn't
they
exactly.
couldn't really lose that money on that sponsorship.
I mean, Allgaier's got Brandt that goes everywhere with him as well. So I mean, a bunch of these people have sponsors who just follow him. You have Sadler, who has one main follow him all the damn time.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be interesting though. Although I kind of wish that trucks didn't have such a what is it? It's like 5 weeks from now that we're having another truck race. I think Martinsville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good lord.
It's like a huge vacation.
I know sucks.
Yeah.
Although at least it gives Kligerman's team some time to maybe pull some funds together because that's not a full-time team.
No.
Maybe they're gonna try and pull some funds together. They're gonna get some sponsors saying, "Hey, we're leading the points. We can probably hold on to this for a while. Just give us some money."
It's actually kind of a little like mind blowing. Even though I know it's just like 2 races into that season, the Truck Series, Kligerman is leading the points with this team, and yet I don't remember him leading the points with like Red Horse Racing or Mike Kozlowski Racing a couple years ago.
Think so.
Well,
I don't remember
think the
Kligerman driving for them, but
difference could be too that between that time and this, he raced in the Sprint Cup Series. His level of competitiveness went up racing against Sprint Cup Series drivers and getting some tips from them and everything. So that might be a difference.
well, Kligerman didn't really get that many Cup starts actually.
Well, I know he didn't.
No.
But
Swan
you
lasted 4 weeks,
you can
or
take
like.
you can take those few starts and apply them though.
I do miss Swan Racing though. That was a team I was looking forward to last year, but 2 years ago actually. But
Yeah, but you
Kligerman
kind of
got that
saw
18.
what they were. You kind of saw what they were doing for their sponsorship. You knew that wasn't going to last.
And Swan was just losing money too because bad things kept happening that weren't even Kligerman's fault or Cole Witt. I think it Witt. Witt. Yeah, because he had speed stick still.
Oh, fuck.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Oh man.
Doesn't help when it's supposed to be so freaking warm here and my allergies are back.
And I know it's NASCAR talk, but also one more thing. Speaking of IndyCar returns tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's right.
I am excited.
St. Petersburg.
It's a little bit of a smaller field, but this driver entry list for the whole season is pretty pretty nuts.
Have you seen Montoya's silver car?
Yeah, I saw that.
That car looks
It
awesome.
looks funky, man.
That's a very sweet ride.
It's gonna be
I
fun.
think, I think
can't
his
wait to.
teammates got. I think both of them are running silver
You're gonna,
cars.
you're gonna
To
get all
celebrate,
these.
to celebrate
Yeah,
50th anniversary.
Yeah.
great entry lists that they've got for IndyCar. It's like nuts, and it's like bunch of like it's like an interesting lineup. You got Alexander Rossi from Formula One, who is still actually signed with Manor. They're
What
just
are you guys' opinions on, I think it's Daniel Ricciardo wanting to drive for Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
yeah. Ricardo wants to race the road courses next year for JRM.
Or even this year, he said. He said this year.
I think he said somewhere that he wouldn't be able to do it this year, but he'd be all for it next year. I love to see that. I want to see David. I want to see some. I want to see some crossovers.
Some successful crossovers, put it that way.
Yeah. Well, remember when what's his
Got Sam
name?
Walker's-
Kimi Räikkönen raced those few truck and Xfinity races, and
Yeah.
it was fun. It was a fun time. I was kind of hoping if Raikkonen lost his ride, he'd go to NASCAR. That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's funny how
Yeah,
they
the only problem with NASCAR right now, which isn't a bad thing though, is that if anybody's gonna do that, they gotta take a Xfinity or a Truck Series ride because there's just really it doesn't seem to be any room in Sprint Cup right now,
'Cause, yeah, it's.
especially now with the new charter system.
I don't even think that's the fault of. I don't even think the charge system's the fault of the grid being smaller though. Because I mean, the team mergers that happened were literally for financial purposes, not even for charter purposes. Like when when Hillman and Circle Sport merged, that was just because Hillman was literally out of money.
And now Circle Sport merged with Levine Family, so
As well. So I mean, which kind of surprised me. I thought Levine Family Racing would be forever forward after Penske let them use their shop, but
yeah, I know, I thought so too. That shocked me too that they went to a
I was
Chevrolet.
expecting Levine Family Racing to become Penske's, like what Wood Brothers was, to become one of
Yeah.
those type of cars. That'd be pretty amazing. Because then you got like 4 Penske cars in a way.
Trying to look here, there was
Not like
something
in my
that I thought I saw
Not
here
like in
on.
not like in my NSCR series where there's like six teams for Penske.
Where the heck is it? I thought there was, you were talking about F1, and I thought there was an Indy 500 thing about Kurt Busch. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Kurt Busch still interested in running Indy 500.
Copyright.
Copyright strike.
Do you know where that's from?
No.
No.
That's 6969 by Ninja Sex Party.
Oh. Them. Okay.
Okay.
Formula One's starting in a few weeks, aren't they? As well. I
I haven't seen much about
Don't
that.
they start in March or something? I always forget.
I don't
Let me
know.
look it up. I'm on Wikipedia already. I'll go to. Let's see if I can find the Wikipedia page.
So, if
There
we,
it is.
If we can talk NNS here, or NNS here, if we can talk NFTL for a little bit,
Ooh.
what are you guys' opinions
Oh,
on?
never mind. Not a few weeks. Next Sunday, if F1 starts. March 20th, Melbourne Grand Prix. Oh man,
Ooh.
Australia. Yeah. So what do you guys? So what's your picks for those? Hamilton or Rosberg?
Seth, it's
Whoa,
awesome.
what the
It's
heck?
awesome to be able to
What did I
have your
just
account
read?
info.
Wait a minute. What?
What happened?
Hold on. I got it. I don't know what this even means. Let me read this.
Well, that's
No. No,
helping answer the
no,
question.
no, 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 no.
Now,
No. Yes.
yes.
Wait a minute. Oh, okay.
What?
They were talking about Circuit of the Americas. They were talking about that. Okay, they were talking about that Taylor Swift was going to be doing a post-qualifying session concert, but I thought it said they were going to name a race for her, and I was like, what?
Taylor Swift
What?
Superdome, mate.
The Taylor
Oh,
She
Swift
already had the
Superfleet
racetrack
Americas.
built in her honor for NR 2003. Come on.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
my
saw the video.
word.
She's making the track.
I guess I'm just seeing this track Taylor Swift 2016 or race Taylor Swift 2016. I'm like, no, just please no.
Yeah, Taylor Swift Speedo, mate. Let's go. Let's go.
With F1 physics.
All right, go.
Oh man, she saw Mystical's video.
Also,
She's making it for
by the way, this is also NASCAR related. The Milwaukee Mile bleachers are hitting up the auction block.
Yeah, I heard about that. Although it's not the main part of it.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, Milwaukee Mile looks like it could be actually shutting down after like 20 years of them trying to shut down, but not happening.
They're gonna probably be demolishing that pretty soon.
What year was the last Xfinity race there?
2009.
Yeah.
And then the following year, they went to an airway Wisconsin track in America.
And it's like it's not even like surprising at all. Not because they're the governor of Wisconsin or wherever their mayor has been trying to shut down for so long, and the fact that it's a very old track that hasn't been updated in a long time, and it also doesn't help that ARCA sold more tickets than IndyCar did last year. So I mean, because those extra grandstands, the ones that are being auction blocked, those were built in hopes of NASCAR Sprint Cup and IndyCar both coming there, but never surfaced. And from what I know, and I don't know if this is true or not, it's because the garage infield area isn't properly made for Sprint Cup racing and stuff. Like I guess there's no room in it, or the facilities and garages are so old they're not usable. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I've read, but.
I don't know. I hope the track doesn't go away because I think the track just has too much history to, like, it has too much history, so in my opinion, it doesn't deserve to go away. So I hope they can somehow save it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think it's
IndyCar's not racing there this year.
I think it's one of the oldest racetracks in the world. Been around since 1903.
Yeah.
It's, I think, literally the oldest. Isn't that one of their nicknames, like the original racetrack or something? I don't remember.
What?
Milwaukee Mile. It's the last, like, something about. I forget, like, their tagline, but it's like the oldest racetrack in America or something. Let me look it up. It's on their Wikipedia.
I don't remember.
America. Okay, found it. America's legendary oval.
There we go.
That's what they call themselves. America's legendary oval.
Mm-hmm.
It's not false, so I mean, it's not false. They're not wrong.
Nope.
No, it's not wrong at all. It's gonna be sad if that track goes.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first.
Yeah, you still got Nazareth that's just sitting there with nothing.
Yep.
Same
It's
with
not even
North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, all these tracks fucking going poopy. Rockingham
I'd
going.
actually really, if I did win the that Powerball though, I would have stayed Wilkesboro though. To be honest, I would have.
It's surprising with the kind of tracks you see ARCA going to this season that they're not, not even considering going to North Wilkesboro or Nazareth or something.
I would have built a track and I would have built my own track or something. Yeah, I'll do that banking idea I had earlier.
Yeah. See how that works out for you.
If I had money to throw at, yeah. If I won that Powerball thing.
Defying drivers.
Yeah. Hey, I would put it I think Circuit of America is what they should have done. They should have put it like an oval track next to the circuit or something. I think that would be pretty fun. Make that like the ultimate racing motorplex area.
Yeah.
Get an oval, you got a road course, get like a dirt track over. Well, yeah, there's a couple dirt tracks, but I mean, I would have put a track somewhere. Cause
found space for it.
I built at Cybertron Speedway.
Cybertron.
Hell yeah, mate.
Oh man.
Turn 1's asphalt, turn 2's concrete. I don't know.
Turn 3's dirt.
Yeah, I've seen a
Turn
couple
4's
of.
gravel.
I'd love to see a track like that where there's like 4 different types of surfaces
Oh
on the
my
track.
goodness.
Turn
That'd
1's
be
got
so weird.
each turn. Turn 1,
No,
turn 2,
turn
turn 3.
turn 4 is
4.
rain.
Yeah. Turn 4 sprinklers. There we go. And then turn off for actual rain.
That'd be so weird.
That'd be pretty friggin' fun. You're gonna have asphalt, concrete, put some dirt in there somewhere, and then
And then
fourth
take that track and tell Goodyear to make a tire for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
God,
good luck
they
with that.
want to murder NASCAR if they
Good
went
luck with
there.
that one.
All right, so I think that's gonna wrap it up for this week's edition. What's next week?
Auto Club.
Is it really?
Is it really? Oh, I can't wait for that one with this package.
Ooh, yeah.
The
Me
Bumpy
either.
as Hell Auto Club with tires that actually wear out with this aero package. Sign me up.
I mean, if Las Vegas was good, yeah, Auto Club's probably gonna be really good too.
Yeah, let's freaking happen, mate.
All right, so looks like Charles already left. So thank you to Charles for being here. Also, Johnny, Michael, and Shane, thank you guys for being here this week. Appreciate it.
No problem.
No problem.
Did I make history again next week?
I hope not.
For what? Is that Budweiser series y'all are doing?
No.
That's my series.
No, he's talking about beating my pick again.
No, not like that, Seth. No, about how many times I've been here consecutively so far.
Oh, gotcha.
Let's make it 5. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, so hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Next week is Auto Club, and it'll be again on Saturday morning. Again, times fluctuate on when it takes place, but usually it's on Saturday morning. So if you want to join us, let me know. I usually post the.
Hold on,
Okay.
hold on.
Brought to you by Hess.
Corey Williams is asking for a shout out in the chat, so I'm gonna give Corey Williams a shout out.
Shout
Look at his
out.
comment.
Corey J. Williams.
He's asking for a shout out, so I'll give him a shout out.
Toot toot. Who is toot tootin'? What the heck? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, yeah, if anybody wants to join on Saturday mornings, let me know. Unfortunately, on my side, I'm not able to see during the stream if people want to join. Apparently, Shane can, because I
What?
have some weird thing with my chat where I cannot see live stream chat. But anyway, anything you guys want to say before we sign off?
No, but although Max the Gamer, he's talking some mad shit, Seth. He's saying your face cam's not in sync.
My face cam's not in sync.
Yeah.
I got
It's
it.
like you're talking in the Japanese movie.
Okay, hold on. Look, I
Said it
have
51 minutes ago.
It's in sync though. Whenever you
I
talk,
have
can see it.
this. Where the heck is it? There we go. Okay, I was using. This is my computer webcam. I was using this little thing because apparently this one shuts off. So I was using this. Doggone it. So I'm using an external webcam, even though I've got an internal webcam in my laptop, but still not in sync. Oh well. All right.
Now you're talking like in a Japanese movie, so now you're really out of sync.
What? I'm out of sync again? Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Oh God, damn it.
I'm out of sync. I can't wash my hands.
I can't watch. How many fingers am I holding up?
16.
Well, this goes to hell. Let's end this.
Alright, so anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you guys next week on NASCAR Talk.
Let's end it with Seth's Popeye talk.
Oh man.
With my Popeye talk?
Yeah, the
What?
Never mind.
Are you talking about the Porky Pig?
No, that's the thing you go.
Stop.
And now for the weather. I thought you meant
With
feather.
Ryan
Okay, I have
Stottle.
a Popeye talk, but I don't know if you've ever heard it. So I mean,
And here's Cosmo with the weather.
so we'll see you all next week on NASCAR Talk.
Ban.
Okay,
Ban.